maybe lead to
Okay, yeah, they agree.
an understanding, a revelation, an awakening of sorts.
Yes. And so I'm going to piggyback on that. It's going to be like a different element piggybacking, because what I love about comedians as well is that comedians can be true medicine people. And when you understand because these are the worlds we've always
Mhm.
been a part of as well. When you understand true medicine people, you know that when they communicate, they're actually reaching people at different levels of the path. So you know how when someone says something and maybe you're going to understand it at this point, and then somebody's going to interpret it at a deeper level, so even though it's comedy and it's supposed to laugh, it will hit people still according to the point at which they can interpret, according to their point of awareness, kind of like a true medicine person. So it sort of can be all inclusive. Everyone can laugh. And sometimes there's going to be those that can really go a little deeper with certain meanings, because some comedians, that's how they work. They encode a lot of levels within their whole chat.
Yeah, and let's not forget, for those familiar with that type of terminology, that uh, there is a place for trickster medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't run away from it. It may look, sound, be expressed a little bit differently, but the element of that trickster energy, even if you don't want to watch a comedian, trust me, there'll be somebody in your life that will represent that trickster energy. It could be your boss. And if you are a loner, maybe you don't have a lot of people around you, sometimes other informations, ancestor energy, or spirits might try to give you that medicine. I don't want to receive it that way, to be quite honest, because trust me and believe me, there is trickster medicine that will come out and get you. And
Mm-hmm.
something that I appreciate about comedians is that sometimes in their shock factor, that it's that shock factor that awakens someone to something. If it hits, if it pings, don't blame that person. Reverse it and take a time out to examine why it's pinging.
Right. Why did it ping?
It's usually your body sending you a message. um yeah, maybe that person was out of line, or maybe it pinged you because there's some truth to it that you may not have been ready to see. And this is why that trickster energy will always be valuable, while you will always have um maybe people who hold the highest titles in the land. They will always have someone that fills that capacity, might just
Mm-hmm.
be called different things, because or people may not give, and maybe this is not all comedians, but comedians are great observers of life, of people.
Mm-hmm.
They spend a whole lot of time people watching,
And also very internal too.
and some of them can be extremely empathic. They can look at you and read a person, because as human beings, we give off so many tells and ticks. And someone who spends just their time observing, and if then coupled with a sixth sense edge, empathic, oh, then you are that person. I can see why that person can be almost scary to have in front of you. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like being picked on when I go to a comedy show.
Me neither. I don't think nobody likes that.
I
Get
don't want
called
that
out.
reverse
Ooh.
spotlight. But
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
we still like to go to those comedy clubs and take the chance.
Because we can laugh.
We gotta laugh.
And that is worth it.
Hmm.
Because laughter is medicine.
Laughter's medicine, is healing for the soul, and is heart healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mind, body, and soul.
You see, most adults don't do a lot of laughter,
No.
and a lot of the stuff that's out there is doesn't really generate organic
Mm-mm.
giggles. And sometimes we do need those bold, maybe crass, edgy comedians that will say something so shocking to your system that your body produces laughter. And maybe it's not necessarily because you really thought it was funny. It's more like my sister said, your body's experiencing a release of something that has been held in. And that particular frequency, which came in words and it came dressed as a joke, was the medicine that you needed to